Hi, welcome or welcome back to Friendship Knits. This is Anita and I'm Andra, and today we're filming our 12th episode of our knitting podcast.
We will follow a common knitting podcast structure, so we will start with the finished objects, then talk about the whips, and at the end, maybe have some plans for you.
Yes. So my first finished object is this late summer wrap. If you know or watched our podcast, you will know that I finished it long times ago, like a few months, I think. But as I already mentioned, I wanted to change the sleeves, and that's what I did. So I'm not getting too much into it. I just want to show you guys that I've done it, and I'm very happy with it. If you are interested in how I've made it, it is on my Ravelry. I wrote it down. I made it the same way as I made it for our friend's wedding wrap.
The first finished object I want to talk about is the Fausta bralette by Loki Bolt's Knit. I knitted this out of leftover yarn from my spicy slipover, so it's the merino by Knitting for Olive in the color Red Currant. And this was such a spontaneous cast on, and I finished it in under a week, I think. I cast it on and then I just finished it right away. Yeah, and it was so fun to knit, I have to say. I knit the first size and knitted with the 3mm needle or US 2.5, and to bind off you use the 2.5mm needles or US 1.5. Probably this is the best pattern I have ever knit. I really think that it is so thought through. I only had to break the yarn twice. Sometimes she tells you to cross stitches when binding off, for example here at the square neck, and this just really creates a very neat look. As I was using leftover yarns, my goal was to just use up the two skeins. And when I was finished already with the bralette, I had quite a bit left over. So I decided to unpick the cast on edge and then just knit on like from here down as much yarn I still had left. I think it was a semi-good idea. First I thought you will not see the change or the transition, but I always forget that when you undo a pick or a cast on edge, that the stitches won't come up like straight, but it doesn't look the best. I think I'm still happy that I made it longer, but it's just not as neat as I maybe hoped it would turn out.
What do you mean with it's not as neat?
You can just see where the cast on edge was.
Yeah.
And also the binding, I mean, I did the cast on, I think with the long tail cast on, and it was looking very good. And then when I was binding off, I recognized that I don't know how to bind off 2x2 rib. And then I rearranged the stitches, and I mean, it looks okay, but it's just not the neatest. But I think it's quite alright for the stash busting project it is.
I think so too.
Yeah. And one problem I often have, or something I struggle with almost every time I knit something, is to know in which tension I should cast off stitches or bind off stitches. And I think I could have done it even tighter with this project, but other times I also made it very tight and then it was too tight. So I think it's with every project you have to get in a rhythm somehow, and it's not something I find very easy to estimate.
When I made this one, it was the way I
bound off.
Yeah, bound off. It was too tight, but with wear it just kind of grew. But like it was the first times I wore it, it was not. It was very tight.
Yeah.
So I get your problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very happy I did this.
Yeah. Also, you didn't tell me you were doing this.
Yeah.
It was so surprised.
You love your fausta bralette, and I thought it would be so fun to just not tell you, and then the next time we see each other to just wear it.
Yeah.
That was my plan, but sadly it didn't work out because you came into my room and I wasn't there, and the fausta bralette was blocking. So
yeah, I
the
saw
surprise
it.
didn't
I mean,
pay off as I wanted.
Yeah, you didn't see it. I was
Yeah,
very
I wasn't
surprised.
I wasn't there when you were surprised.
Yeah. Oh God, it was funny.
Yeah.
My second finished project is also a summer project. And yeah, I mean, I was almost finished last time we filmed, so this is now the actual finished project. It's a mixed rib cami by Florence Miller that we've made a cal about. And yeah, it just took me way too long to finish it. I knitted it in Pasquale's baby merino, and I used 2 skeins, which surprised me. I thought I would need more of them. I'm really happy it's finally done. I also love the length of it. I just didn't get to wear it yet because, well, it's really cold. I missed the season by far, but I also haven't blocked it yet. So I guess I will just wear it next year. Yeah.
Same for me with the fausta bralette though. As soon as it was blocked and dry, fall hit in Switzerland. So
honestly, yeah, it's true. Like from one day to the other, it was so cold.
yeah.
But yeah, I have another one, like a mixed with cami work in progress, which I'm not gonna mention again until next season because that's like the next time I'm gonna, like next spring, when I'm gonna be able to deal with it mentally and emotionally. So that's all you're gonna hear about the mixed rib cami. Yeah, I'm also not going to talk about the pattern too much because we've talked about it a lot. So if you're interested, just watch one of our previous podcasts. You'll hear all about it. So yeah, that's it.
Very nice. I'm glad you were able to finish it.
Me too. It was so satisfying. And I forgot how much I loved doing I-cord. It always stresses me out the thought of it, but then it's just so fun to do it.
Yeah, you were so stressed. I remember.
I know. I just couldn't like imagine it, so I thought I couldn't do it, but then I could do it, so it was really not that much of a problem. Representation in my head wasn't there.
Weet je wat ik meen?
Ja, es ist
echt nog
so
krass.
Es ist so ein Aufwegfilm. Ich liebe das. Es ist halt wie, ich kann ewig nicht mehr, aber es ist halt wie so, hey, das ist so, ist alles vorgeschrieben. Dann kommt ein Lied und sagt, hey, denke selber.
My next finished object is the sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is the sweater I knitted for my husband as a birthday present. I knitted this sweater on 5.5 millimeter needles. No, that's not true. On 5 millimeter needles or US 8. And I used Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino and Soft Silk Mohair, both in the color Bark. Yes. I didn't do many modifications other than I knitted the sweater as an M, but in the length I knitted an XL. Makes that sense?
Yeah. Right, it does make sense.
So it's just longer, but in the width it is an M. Yes, and it is so sweet. My husband loves this sweater. He barely takes it off.
Oh no.
And it is so I had to like fight for it that I could like, and I had to mentally prepare him that I had to take it with me today so we could film the podcast.
I feel so sorry for him.
I feel very good for myself because I knitted this sweater and spent hours and hours on this, and he likes it very much.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I also made the sleeves a little bit longer. I think they're a third longer than what the pattern suggests. And we really had to trust the process of blocking because this sweater is crunching up a lot, and then with blocking it just gets longer, the body as well as the sleeves. And it turned out perfect. The sleeves are perfect. The body could be longer, but we could also block it a little bit longer. And the color is great.
Amazing.
It's just a win. It's a win.
I'm very happy for you
Yeah.
guys. That's so great.
Same. Yeah, I'm so happy. I was so nervous that because my husband also went through a phase where he was changing his style a little bit. And I bought the yarn before that. And then I was worried that he wouldn't wear the sweater.
Oh yeah.
And that would piss me off because I worked so much about it.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of hours on it, and it's really rewarding that he's so happy with it, and the fit is just great.
Yeah, also like if you wouldn't wanted it, you have the same one as well, so you can't just take it and be like, oh, then I'm gonna wear it myself, because then you have two sweaters.
Yeah, and it's huge.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I once wore it, and it's just
a dress.
Ridiculously huge. Yeah, I mean the length. I mean, I could wear it as a dress, but the sleeves, they're like this longer than my arms. It wouldn't be very practical.
I forgot about that. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I find that the yarn really softened up even more after blocking, and it's just such a nice sweater. Yeah, and I have the same one in a smaller size, and I was so inspired to wear it as well, and it's also the same color, so it's literally the same sweater.
Now you can match.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Actually, I wanted to match, but with the same sweater, but in another color. But my husband loved this color from my sweater so much that he said he wants exactly the same one.
That's funny.
Yeah. But the good thing was I had a lot of leftover yarns, and Knitting for Olive was so kind to send me the same dye lots as I asked them to. And I was able to use all of my leftover yarns.
That's amazing. Yeah. You have nothing left?
I think
just a little.
I broke in every skein. I think the skeins aren't finished, but yeah.
Cool. That's so cool. How satisfying.
Yeah, really.
My third finished project, also still a summer project. It is the lirio top by Cecilia Garcia Rodrigo. I knitted it in Antigone by Delirium Natura in the color Libellule or Libellule or Libellule, which is a linen yarn. This is why it's so holy, and also I guess because I didn't knit it correctly. It's not my fault, okay? No, I'm kidding. It is. I knitted it with 4mm needles or US 6, and I followed the pattern pretty closely, I think, which is always kind of surprising with me, I feel like. The only thing I did differently was I didn't knit the folded edge. I left it and then sewed it together later, just because of the kind of the consistency of the yarn. Whenever I try to knit the two stitches together before the folded edge, it just kind of jumped off my needles.
Oh.
And that became quite frustrating. So I just decided to skip that problem and solve it later. And now, I mean, it's okay, but it does kind of look a little bit rounded off, or whatever that means. It has an angle to it because the rows are not perfectly aligned.
Okay, but that hasn't anything to do with the sewing down, I think.
I think it's because I didn't sew it, it would have go one row further up. Okay. That's why. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it too much, and I haven't blocked it yet, so I'm still hopeful that will change something. About the pattern, I think I would suggest it to do it if you already know a little bit about knitting, because there are some things that are not very explained in big detail. Also, one thing I was surprised that it wasn't mentioned, or at least I couldn't find it, maybe I missed it. There's nothing about the length of the straps, so they just kind of say knit as long as you want, and I find it hard to. I feel like if it was my first piece, because it does look very simple to knit, I wouldn't have known what to do. So I'm kind of glad that I've already knitted straps before and just kind of were able to gauge how much how much length I needed. So just as a note, yeah, I made it a little bit more cropped, so because I know this yarn will grow probably a lot or throughout its life, kind of, because it's linen. And yeah, so I kind of thought about it as a little bit of an experiment for the linen yarn, because I just knew I wanted a boxy top with this yarn, because it's not that stretchy. So I'm kind of glad about its outcome, even though it looks quite irregular, but I also think it kind of looks also nice.
I also think that blocking will even it out.
Yeah, I'm curious what will happen. Also, what I also thought about is making I-cord edges, because when I put it on, I just kind of felt it wasn't wide enough on my shoulders. It doesn't look
Okay.
like the project pictures. Obviously, they use different yarn, but I just kind of want, like, if I, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be next year. So next year, if I feel like, oh, it still doesn't look as nice as I wanted to, I'm just probably gonna add I-cord edges as well on the arms and maybe also neck. But yeah, I mean, for an experiment and like to get the opportunity to get to know more different yarn kinds or like brands and fibers, I'm quite glad about how it turned out.
Yeah, and we were able to touch the yarn in a garment at this yarn festival after it was worn and washed several times. So I think this will soften up and even out as you will wash and wear it.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, like, one reason why it's not that wide, I just remember now, is because the straps curl up. So I imagine that will flatten out as well, because that garment you mentioned, it was very flat in a way.
That's why you bought the yarn, because this garment was so nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really curious how it's gonna turn out with wear, or how it's gonna change with wear.
My last finished object for today is this self-drafted beanie, which I also knitted out of stash yarn. These were my leftovers from my rib sweater by, I don't really know, this ribbed sweater by Knitting for Olive, Pernille Larsen. Yeah, and I took this with me on our Berlin trip, and it was so fun to have this little project in my bag all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. I cast on 8 stitches, and then I did like raglan increases, so I knitted it top down. I often do this when I knit beanies out of stash yarn, so I can just knit as far as the yarn goes. And I, as I said, cast it on 8 stitches, and then I did raglan increases in these like 4 stripes, as you know it from beanies. The top of the beanie I knitted on 5.5 millimeter needles, or US 9. And then I did the ribbing on 4.5 millimeter needles, or US 7. And I did this 1x1 rib and did fold edges. And I did this by just knit 1 row. And the yarn I used is Tin Peer Gint in the color Jolly Blue, I think, and the Long Yarns Brushed Alpaca in this very electric blue color. And I held the alpaca double. Yes. And I think it's a really nice beanie. I'm really happy with the outcome. It's really fuzzy and I love the color. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. And also the size of the beanie is just perfect. I just tried it on repeatedly, and I was being very aware that I want to knit this beanie a little bit too small, because I knew with blocking that they tend to grow a little bit, and I had that with other beanies that they fitted perfectly, and then when I blocked them, they were a little bit too big. So I tried that the beanie was a little bit too small, and I think that worked out perfectly. You can see on Ravelry how exactly I knit this beanie, and in case you just want to wing a beanie as well and maybe need just an idea or something, yeah, it is there under, I think, just beanie, I don't know, scrap beanie or something.
Also, you have pictures, so you will see it.
That's true, yeah. And actually, I also plan to make another beanie with the leftovers from the Lakes pullover, which I'm wearing right now. And I just am looking forward to have these very colorful beanies in the winter. I think it's really fun.
Speaking of stash busting, I also want to stash bust quite a bit this fall, or just like this life. No, kidding. And just until I have like enough stash or like yarn busted. I know.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Just until I have enough yarn used, so I have space again to kind of buy a new one. And
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So my first project is this hat. On Ravelry, I named it #1 fall hat, in case you want to knit it as well. Probably don't. I knitted it in 6mm needles or US 10, and I made it cuff up. Or what's it? No, I made it bottom up.
Bottom up.
I actually tried to do it top down as well, but I just couldn't figure out the way that it made sense to me to just, I just couldn't do it. Like wrap my head around how to, but I also didn't look it up. So I just started down here, and also it was like a project I kept like opening and redo it again just because so the length or like the size didn't always fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the way I made it is like I started with 2x2 ribbing, and I made it like a certain amount of rows. I think it's 15 rows. Then I did purl one, and then continued.
Is it 2x2?
No, sorry, it's 1x1. Is it 2x2?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean 1x1, and then I purled one row and just continued with the same pattern. And then I knitted it together, which was very easy with this one, not like the top. And then, just kind of followed a similar pattern to the Oslo hat. I'm not going to get into too much detail. And then, luckily, which was kind of funny, I never had to adjust the stitch number. I just kind of, on the first try, it was perfect. Also, like for the size of my head, which is also like weird that it just fit. So it was like never, it was just the length that I didn't get quite right. I don't think I'm gonna wear it for myself, but I try to kind of push it on to my boyfriend and hope he's gonna wear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can gift it to the Packreaktion.
Yeah, I thought about that, and also I once emailed our, I don't know what it's called in English, but like where people that are like without, like homeless, can sleep for like one night. And I once emailed them and asked them what they need, like what they would like to have like knitted, and they said hats and socks are always great. So like it's never a waste to knit a hat. I just want to like keep going about how fun it is to make hats, and how quickly it was knit up with this size needle and this size yarn, and how satisfying it is. I feel like this is gonna get me through like this semester, just like knitting hats after each other, because it's just so satisfying and so quick, and I just know it has a good purpose.
Yeah.
So that's that for fall hat number 1. My last finished project is also a hat.
It's a very finished object heavy episode today.
Yeah, we haven't filmed for quite a while, like a podcast we haven't filmed, so that's why. Speaking of stash busting, or speaking of this hat, it was also a stash busting project. It's the all weather hat by Sophie Hogensen. I'm not gonna mention. The pronunciation is probably off. It is like, if you know the Norwegian knitter, I got this pattern. Like I got inspired by her because she often knits the stormy. I think it's called stormy baby hat or something. Stormy weather hat,
I think.
And she just said like it's very good to use up like if you just have one skein, like 50 grams of yarn, because it's just like exact amount for like the baby sizes. I mean, it's a baby hat, but yeah, just like for the sizes. The biggest size, I guess you need more, but the smaller ones you don't. And the all-weather hat is kind of like the lighter version with the fingering yarn. I have a lot of single skeins of knitting for olive because once I just kind of chose the colors I want to know how they look and just bought single skeins. And I guess back then I just didn't understand the concept of dye lots. I chose the size 3 months to 6 months because it's the last size that still suggests 50 grams and not like 50 to 100 grams. But I have so much left of, it's knitting for olives plus the artichoke, merino. And I have so much still left. Like I feel like it's almost half of it. So for the next one, I'm just gonna make a bigger size. Or it also says in the stormy hat pattern with the DK version, you can just use 2 strands of knitting for olive. So I also thought about buying the stormy weather hat pattern and make a thicker version, because winters in Switzerland still can get very cold, and I want actual protection for cold, not just like this thin way. I mean, it's a good like seasonal change hat, but I don't
Yeah.
think for an actual cold day it's not enough. The last thing I'm gonna mention about it is, well, no, the pattern is really easy to follow. It's so much fun. It has like a lot of different steps. Okay, like it depends what person you are. I guess there's sometimes it can be annoying, but for me, it keeps it interesting to work on. I didn't use the suggested needles. I used, instead of 3mm needles, I used 3.5mm or
US4.
yeah, I used 4 things. So I guess the hat's a bit bigger than it would be, but I mean, who cares? I was just kind of surprised that because Knit for Olive is one of the suggested yarns, like why my tension was like, or like why it looked so tight, but I guess I'm just a tight knitter. So yeah, that's that for the all-weather hat. And I'm again so excited to make so much more of them. And also what I thought, maybe with this one, I'm just gonna make socks. And then I have like
Cute set.
yes.
So now we're going to transfer to talking about our whips. And my first and only whip at the time is the Lyon sweater by Petite Knit. I started this sweater in Berlin, so it's very sentimental for me. It is the Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair in the color lavender blue, which I just love so much. I saw this on their website and I immediately bought it without having a plan for it. And
That's
I never do that.
yeah, that's like crazy for you.
I went a little crazy there. No, I just somehow this was a new color and I was afraid that it would be like a limited edition. So I just thought I'm gonna dig in. And I'm really happy how this turned out. This was so smooth sailing and went so fast. I'm knitting at the second sleeve and I'm just gonna start the ribbing now. So this sweater is basically finished and I'm just so looking forward to wear this. But really drew me to the pattern was this contiguous shoulder construction. I really wanted to try this out and it was so fun to knit. Actually, because of that shoulder construction, I was really paying attention that the shoulder seam would actually hit my shoulder. And I saw that when I would knit the smallest size from the adult pattern, that it probably would end up too big. So I did my measurements and I ended up knitting the 11 years old version, which is kind of weird, but it is just a little bit too small right now, but I'm really positive that it will block to the exact right size. So we will see. Yeah. One modification I did is that I made 2x2 rib for the collar as well as the sleeves and the bottom ribbing. And that brought me into a struggle which I haven't solved 100%, and that is how to bind off 2x2 ribbing. I looked into several tutorials and I also tried several things, but it's just nothing really looks very neat. I don't know whether I just do it wrong or I would just need more practice or it just isn't a good method. I don't know. Maybe I just find the wrong tutorials. I don't know what's the problem. Yeah. But I will try this like reassembling thing at the second sleeve and then I really hope that this is gonna look neat.
Yeah, or like if you have any tips or experience with that, you can also, we're really happy about comments.
Yeah, so if you know anything, please just help me out. But all in all, I have to say I'm really happy with the sweater and I'm looking forward so much to wear it. And yeah. I think it will be such a winner. I feel it. It turned out so great.
But isn't it also a little bit unsettling to only have one look?
No. Don't believe me.
I do believe you. I can imagine, like knowing you, I know it can be also calming to have one whip.
I think I like to have two, but I mean, often I have one focus whip anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't feel that different, to be honest. I mean, sometimes it's really nice to be able to switch a project when you're struggling with the one of them. Yeah, that's also often the time when I cast on different things. But I mean, when I was struggling with the bind off at the bottom, I just started a sleeve.
Fair
because
enough.
I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I get that. My only whip that I'm gonna talk about, it's not my only one, but it's the only one I'm gonna talk about. I also is connected to Berlin.
Oh yeah,
because I bought this yarn there in one of the shops we visited. I just immediately fell in love with it because those colors just, I don't know, it's just kind of,
they wrap you up.
honestly, they do something with me. I don't know. I just love and love them. Yeah, I'm not following a sock pattern per se. It's just a normal cuff down, heel flap and gusset sock, and yeah, just because I made different socks already, I just kind of wing it, which is easy with socks, I feel like. Yeah, so if you're interested how I made them, it's on my Ravelry page under fairy sock, I think I named it because of the colors, obviously. And it's just like the yarn is the softest thing I feel like I've touched, and it's like more while knitting it, I feel it, because I'm not sure if it has nylon in it. I should look it up.
I think it does. I think it's a sock yarn.
Yeah, I think too it's a sock yarn,
but I mean nylon makes it also very soft.
Oh, because like the other sock yarns I knitted with, they were always kind of harsh on my fingers while knitting it. This one isn't. I'm so happy that I'm able to make winter knits again, because socks are just so a cool project to kind of take with me, because uni started again, and it's just so interesting and easy to make socks while I'm in the train or watching a lecture. So I'm so happy that that's, I mean, obviously I could make it in the summer, but just the heat and the yarn, yeah, it's just so nice that
so
it's fall
cozy
again. Yeah, it really is. I'm so looking forward to finally wear them, but I'm also scared of wearing them because I don't want to wear them down, so I'm just probably only going to wear them in bed or something. Let's see.
Or make it like a wall hanging.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna frame them maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. Yeah, that's all about my fairy socks.
So nice. So we're at the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining. Please let us know what you have been knitting while watching us, and have a good day. Bye.
This one I just finished basically 20 minutes ago.
Yes.
So yeah, talking about this one, it was also a stash masting. Das muss ich auch schwarten.
Ah, du bist so lustig. Also, ja.
Großartig.
Es ist fake, mein Lachen.
So nicht, vielleicht hast du etwas Lustiges gedacht.
Aha. Das könnte das sein.
Ja, jetzt würde ich das auch zutrauen.